What can a girl do to give you an ick feeling and make you change your whole perception of them? Lack of general respect. General respect. Reporting for duty, sir. S-talk their friends behind their backs. I don't mind ribbing friends or S-talk to their face. But if you will talk S one day and pretend to be their friend the next, that drives me up the wall. I had a housemate that did this. I asked her if she would like to know what people say behind her back. It shut her up and drove her crazy when I wouldn't tell her. Nobody said anything behind her back. Geez, it really drove her nuts. Haha, that's the best way to make a point with those type of people. Probably didn't change anything. They'll just say so and so was talking S behind my back source. My wife's entire family. Lack of reciprocity and lack of accountability. Bro, underrated comment. I've dealt with so many ladies who refuse to take accountability from the simplest thing to large issues. It's always my fault or someone else's. This is 100% why I left my wife. To the point where it was abusive. Was she playing victim all the time? Be excessively rude or snobby to everyone for no reason. I hate people with shitty attitudes, period. I mean, it would be definitely awful to have periods with shitty attitude. Stomach cramps, mood swings, nausea, you name it. I hope your ladies take care and drink something warm during that time. Habitual dry texting. What is that? It's when they respond in one word answers constantly. Yeah, lol, true, cool, yup. Like if they were busy, I get that. But if it's every, then it's just gone. No point texting someone or talking with them if they won't give you the time of day. Yup. Or dry conversation. Like never returns questions even though you ask them. One thing I should realized when I was younger is that if you're the only one asking questions, unless obviously they're busy, stressed or something like that, then it's not a conversation. It's an interview and there's no point keeping in contact. Shitting in my bed. Objection. Hearsay. But you asked the question. Oh, overruled. Blame me for her order not being right when she's the one who made the order, and that I should have said something while they were making it. I didn't say anything, BC, she was FKN watching them do it. Subway. This is specific and sadly relatable to some of us. Carelessness about their hygiene. A little sweat is okay, and I don't mind musk, but please brush your teeth and wipe yourself properly after using the toilet. I know that there are people who neglect their dental hygiene. I was one of them, stupidly, but there are people out there who don't wipe their ass. That thought alone makes me want to hurl. I genuinely actually was one of those people as a young child. My parents never ever taught me, but now not wiping makes me sick, so now I ensure I wipe every single time. I hope you hold the bar higher than yeah. Now I wipe every time instead of some of the time. Most people's standard is I wipe until I'm clean, and that amount varies. How they treat people in public. If I take a girl out in public and she actively tries to belittle or make fun of people within earshot, it's rather off-putting. I'd rather enjoy a day of pretending we are the only two in the world. Being disrespectful about strangers you just met is very alarming. It's one of the largest red flags. The way people talk to wait staff, people in the gym, anywhere that's public. You can say anything behind closed doors, but if you're saying it to a random person you've never met, you are a human being. Dishonorable conduct usually manifests as hurting someone for your own satisfaction. Once you know it's in someone's playbook, you know it could happen to you. My ex's twin brother was like this. He liked to deliberately provoke arguments to upset people. And to think he wants to be a lawyer. Honestly, the twin is one of the reasons a relationship failed. Any sort of public abuse of others. Oh, you like it private, you little freak. Calm down, missus. Hurt. Walking down a beautiful beach in Barbados with my ex. I was thinking how lovely it was and just appreciating the moment when she says, "Ooh, look at her bathing suit and rolls. She shouldn't be wearing that." And that was 3 years ago, and I still remember the rose-colored glasses instantly shattering. This made me sad. Seeking a consensus/lynch mob of others behind my back about private affairs, opinions, personality. habits etc to nitpick and critic where when how it's wrong toxic all my fault and how they can make me change. That and elitist attitudes to hardworking essential staff, no matter what they earn or do for a living. I see you've met my ex. Don't worry, I'm sure all our exes have already compared notes by now. Using what you tell them in confidence against you. Real bitch made shit. Edit. Damn. I did not expect this to blow up so quick. Sorry gents. How often does this happen? Agreed. Same for guys or girls. Really? But, being two-faced. Spreading rumors. Brazenly talking s about strangers in public. Playing with your emotions for self-validation or petty vindication. Being tight to service workers. And being self-absorbed. I mean, I don't know a single person who doesn't at least talk a little s about some people. This is at work. Lots of things, here's a couple. Treat a dog cat pet badly. Like hitting kicking one. Being emotionally manipulative. I dated someone who I saw slap or hit a dog multiple times within a relatively short time frame. We didn't last long. For that and other reasons. Yikes. When they act like men shouldn't express emotions. Oh god. Big one. When I was with my ex, when I was a teenager, I cried at a movie we were watching, and quick as anything she physically slapped me on the hand and said, "Ah, boys don't cry." That moment is burned into my mind. It fucked me up. That's so sad. If you guys were teenagers, that was definitely something she learned at home. Probably completely normal in her mind. I would guess she grew up hearing her parents say that to her brother or brothers. Not respecting sexual boundaries. I have known more than one woman who has straight up sexually assaulted people because they think that, because they are women, certain rules don't apply to them. My partner recently opened up to me about being sexually assaulted regularly by a girl he would sometimes sleep with. She basically harassed and stalked him, and then would force him to have sex, by threatening if he didn't. She would tell others he raped her. He was trapped in this awful relationship for months full of sexual and psychological abuse. It broke me hearing him tell me all of what he went through. Women can be awful, and I'm now the biggest advocate of supporting men in coming forward when they've experienced anything like this. Men have a choice to FFS, even without the blackmail. It's easier than most would think for guys to wind up pressured into sex. And unfortunately it's the guys doing their very best to be responsible and safe for women that are most susceptible. There's a very toxic combo of being starved for positive attention, coupled with going out of their way to be non-threatening and gentle, that leads lots of guys to slip into this paralyzing just go with what she wants headspace. Throw in alcohol and a fun flirty night can very quickly spiral out of their control. The topic came up at the table after a party once. One guy told his story, and before long every single guy at the table had shared a story, and none of them felt like they had any real options for dealing with it afterwards. Very glad your partner found someone like you to listen. Be mean to food service workers, or anyone beneath them on the social ladder. Be kind to everyone on the way up, you'll meet the same people on the way down. Or as my dad told me when I was young, that person is doing honest work to provide for themselves and their family. They deserve respect for that alone. Your dad is a good man. That's honorable. That he is. And he lived the quote above. He was a naval officer until military cutbacks put him out of a job, with 2 children to provide for, and a dismal job market. He took a janitorial job without a single complaint. In a span of 6 months, the man went from commanding top secret submarine tracking missions to cleaning toilets without bowing his head. He eventually re-established a career and is comfortably retired, but I'll never forget that lesson about humility. Gets aggressive towards me. This S100%. Violence is not cool, even if you are a woman, and society condones female violence in a lot of cases. Had an ex who kept getting violent when we disagreed. She goes to slap me one day, I catch her arm and say, "You hit me again. I'm gonna knock you out. You hit me like a man. I'm gonna treat you like one." Suddenly she's the victim, claiming I threatened her to our mutual friends. They had all seen her hit me, and I told them damn straight I threatened her, and not a one of them had a problem with that. I'm a woman and my dad always said that a man should never hit a woman. But if you ever want to hit like a man, be prepared to be hit like a man ultimately. He doesn't condone violence of any kind, especially within a relationship. He would be the first person to step up, and I've seen him disown people he cares about deeply when it comes to domestic violence. But there shouldn't be a gender bias in how we view abuse. Not a lot, but it's possible. You know how nice guys eventually show you they're not really that nice? It can go both ways. Turns out narcissism isn't exclusive to one gender. Who older thought? Let's do the same thing we did for toxic masculinity and try to attempt to remove toxic femininity, if that's that it's called. Shooters will tell you it's still called toxic masculinity, just manifested in women. Only if you don't call morons for saying something so stupid. If toxic masculinity exists, it means toxic femininity has to exist too. Respond to anything you don't like with passive-aggressive sarcasm. Belittling the things people enjoy, like just because something's not for you doesn't mean you should be shitty to people who like it. Bullying someone. I was bullied and ostracized a lot growing up, and no matter how much I may have liked her or how physically attractive she is, if she bullies someone or treats them as lesser without a good reason, I won't like her anymore at all. Exact same scenario here. And agreed. There is no bigger turnoff to me than bullying and abusive behavior. Say they are gonna fight someone. WTH kind of people you roll with. Act like harass doesn't stink, but lean in a little bit closer and see. Roses really smell like poo. If they try to avoid your attempts to address underlying conflicts, people that refuse to deal with issues only prolong them until they're a massive mess in the future.